When I was growing up, we had Canadian versions of all the American TV channels. For example, instead of MTV, we had Much Music. And we didn't have Comedy Central, we had the Comedy Network. The reason we had all these weird Canadian versions of American TV channels is because of something called the Canadian Content Law, or Cancon, which decreed that all Canadian-operated television and radio stations had to broadcast at least one-third Canadian content. That means, if you play a double shot of the Stones, you better follow it up with some Bryan Adams, or you're getting a fine. They do this because they knew that if we were given the choice of some third-rate Canadian show and some hit American show, we were going to watch the American show, because it was better. So we had a bunch of Canadian shows that we ended up watching because they were on TV, and when I was a kid, watching TV was pretty much all there was to do. And some of the Canadian shows were actually kinda good, but for every decent Canadian show, there were 2 good American shows that we missed, because we didn't get those channels. This all happened for 2 reasons. The Canadian government wanted Canada to have a thriving entertainment industry, and they were afraid our distinct American culture would be swallowed up by the overwhelming force of our American neighbors to the south. Did our government think our culture and industry were inferior to that of the Americans? Did they think American radio and television would absorb Canadians like the blob if left unchecked? Obviously they did. And that's why they tried to shield us from American popular culture, by not allowing them to have an even playing field in the entertainment industry. They were telling us that we Canadians weren't capable of producing entertainment that could compete with what the Americans were making. So they forced us to watch and listen to things made by Canadians. So why do Canadians put up with this? Because we're little babies, and we want the government to take care of everything for us. And you know what? One day they are going to take care of everything for us, including where we get our food. And they're going to say certain people don't deserve food because they don't trust the government enough. But that's okay, because we get the government we deserve. Please leave a comment below if you watched weird Canadian shows growing up. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to force yourself to hit that like button and absorb that subscribe button so you never miss another awesome video made by me.